Hey guys, welcome to the Olympic Channel studios. I'm Caroline Moraes, this is Tom Kirkland, and we're the Olympic Channel presenters.
Welcome, it's another Facebook Live, time for us to let you get to know us a little more, kind of what are we doing here, how did we get here. So Caroline, but I'm going to start differently. You're in Rio now, and what has been the highlight? Because you've had an opportunity to see some cool stuff, interview some amazing people.
I have. I think the highlight, there's so many to choose from, because I used to be a gymnast and I got to see the USA gymnastics team, which were incredible. I think all the girls did fabulously well and I loved seeing that. I also got to see the Brazilian beach volleyball, which I loved. I also went to the handball, which was really fun. So I've enjoyed seeing the events. We're in Copacabana, so we're a little bit further away. But I think the highlight for me has to be coming into this studio every day and looking at that view.
Yeah.
This is an amazing office.
You never have a tough day at this office. It's inspiring. Once in a while it rains, and it really does change the mood around here.
Yeah.
It's, everyone's kind of just going about their day, but when it's sunny like this, it's packed, people are having a good time, and there's no question that, if we could have picked a place to be, this would be it. So it's been a lot of fun, and we've done a lot of good work. It's been fun to get to know some of the stars, but also some of the backstories.
Yeah, absolutely. My Linda was a star and with an incredible backstory. She was great. There's so many of the Olympic champions and so many of the Olympians, all of their individual sacrifices to get here. Listening to them has been inspiring, and I feel really privileged that we've got to speak to so many.
Yeah. One of my challenges and also great pleasures was to interview the youngest Olympian here in Rio, Sally Yee, the Fijian table tennis player. Really, really shy, and that's where my dad instincts kicked in, because I've had kids who have gone through that age. So I tried, and little by little, as she began to feel more comfortable, she relaxed, and it was a fun interview. It's amazing. Can you imagine? I think back to when I was 15.
Yeah.
I could, barely walk and chew gum, and she's here at the Olympics and taking it all in, and it's must be overwhelming. And she was looking forward to Tokyo 2020 because it won't be this first big thing.
Of course, and I think even speaking to some of the veterans and the ones who aren't competing anymore but maybe have competed, I think everyone shares in the buzz and the electric atmosphere here in Rio. I think each Olympic Games brings its own unique twist on the Games, and I think the Brazilians definitely know how to host a party, and I'm being biased because I'm half Brazilian. But
that's okay. No, they do. They absolutely do. There's been issues that everybody knows about. We don't have to go over any of those, but I haven't really seen any of the issues that was so prevalent in the run-up.
Yeah.
It's for us.
There's
been nothing.
Yeah, I think as a foreigner, Brazilians really welcome you with open arms. It's one of the nation's positive points. They're just so excited. They want to know where you're from. Say something in your language. They're really sweet. The food, I love the food. The food has been incredible. And of course the weather.
It's spectacular. I've had a career high here. I had a chance to interview IOC President Thomas Bach.
Yes.
That was quite an occasion, and it was amazing when we sat down. I had all this build up because it's an important person for so many reasons, and he just made me relax as we were miking up and we're chatting. I just felt immediately okay, and that was fun. Then there were the Estonian marathon triplets, Leila, Lena, and Lily Liuk. That was a blast.
Yeah.
I introduced them wrong, and of course, because
they're identical.
They were delightful. They danced for us. They're going to be dancing at closing ceremonies. That'll be fun.
Tom's having loads of fun. He's getting all the athletes to dance for him.
The Iron Lady, Katinka Hosszu from Hungary by way of USC. People in the US and LA may know her. She dominated the NCAA swimming championships, and she's here. That is a branding family. She and her husband Shane, who's also her coach, they have it all covered back in Budapest. She's the chairman of her own company, in addition to, by the way, winning 3 golds and a silver here in Rio. So they are ready to go to other business heights. So that's been fun. And then just walking around and just, this is my 11th Olympics, which tells people I'm really old. But when you tap in, when you land, it's a whole different thing. You get the credentials stamped, and then you're part of it.
Yeah, even, I think, from the biggest details of seeing and meeting and interviewing athletes to the tiniest detail of seeing someone with a pin in the street and going, "Ooh, what's that pin?" and then going, oh, I got it here and I got it there. Like, it's just such a united atmosphere, I think, during the Olympics. I think that's the highlight that I've taken, that the sport and the Olympic Games really unites everyone from all over the world.
And so some people may think it's a cliche because it's kind of part of the,
Yeah.
it's part of the mantra, but it isn't, because that's really the feeling here.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And all the athletes have been saying that about the athletes' village, because we always want to know, I want to know what's going on in the athletes' village, and that's what they say, everyone feels united. Because I think there's a sort of, we have a respect for what they're doing, and then they have a respect for what they're doing. So it sounds like a cliche, but it's true.
I think our friends out there on Facebook Live might want to know, I want to know, tell us your incredible background. I mean, so young, and you're kind of at the top of your profession with much more to do.
I feel like Tom's hired really, I don't know, put the expectation up there. I don't know.
I mean, you're doing great work, and it's been fun to get to know you and watch, but I don't know anything about where you're from, other than that it's a little bit here and it's a little bit in London.
Yeah, a little bit all over the
place. And your boyfriend occasionally needs talking to. Yeah. So all boyfriends and husbands sometimes need to be put in their place.
Yeah, so I'm half Brazilian, half English, so the Brazilian side takes care of that one. But yeah, I used to be a gymnast, which is why I was so excited to watch the gymnastics. It was amazing, and the Brazilian male gymnastics, like, they just did so well with the silvers. And so I've come from a sporting background, love sports, work in high diving, football. I've dabbled in every single sport, I think, back home, kind of in a roundabout way. And when I was asked to come here, you can't really say no. I've had London 2012, which was a home Olympics, and then I feel like Rio is also a home Olympics for me. All of my family are here. So every night I'm kind of squeezing in dinners with different family members.
Until yesterday, I didn't know your whole family was here.
Yeah.
That would be such another addition to the games. It would be awesome.
Yeah, so I've been they've all got tickets to different events, and luckily I'm really lucky with my credentials, so I kind of jump in and say, where are you going? Okay, I'll meet you, and I watch events with them and go for dinner, and seeing their
studio. Okay, we're back up. Hey, this is what happens on Facebook Live. If we go, just hang around a minute or two, Patrick Medley Brown, who's been, by the way, he's our digital guy. He has been all over the games, making these Facebook Lives happen. It's been a pleasure to get to know him. Really talented guy.
I was rambling on, basically, so everyone decided to cut me off. No, not at all. But Tom, tell us about you, because I don't know that much about your background. I'm sure everyone else is interested as well.
Okay, well, I spent 2 years in Cambodia when I was really young. And came back, settled in New York, played basketball. Basketball was my first love. I wanted to play somewhere, but it just didn't work out, so I had to go get a job. Went to graduate school at Boston University, then I got a job at CNN. I got really lucky, got on the air really quickly. 13 years later, I met my wife, and we moved to LA with Fox Sports, which was a blast. Lived in Hermosa Beach, which is about as close to heaven until I was here. That was a lot of fun, and then ended up getting a job at KSL in Salt Lake City, the NBC affiliate, which connected me to Olympics, because we went to every Olympics. So that's why they started to add up, and spent 15 years as a sports director there. And then this opportunity came after many months of back and forth, and wasn't sure this spring what was going to happen. And then I was offered the job, and then they said, hey, we need you to go to Rio.
Yeah.
And so here we are.
Yeah, maybe I'll go.
Yeah, it's the same, same feeling you had. There was no way you can ever say no to an Olympics, and it's just, it kind of makes sense. I remember I wrote my senior thesis in high school on the history of the political game, the political history of the Olympic Games.
Wow.
So you look back on that and kind of supposed to be working here.
Absolutely.
So that's it.
And you guys mustn't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. We launch during the closing ceremonies, or just after the closing ceremony, shall I say. So make sure that you're following us on social media to keep up to date with everything, because all the interviews we've been doing here will be shown on the channel after the closing ceremony. Yeah, make sure you stick with us. All kinds of backstories on some of these really cool, fun, young and older Olympians, and you get a chance to see Caroline Moraes. Much, much more. Can't go wrong there. Thanks, guys. We'll see you again on our next Facebook Live.